This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Thousands of people still without power this morning after strong winds hit both Oregon and Southwest Washington.
It's important that folks know that we are going to be working around the clock as quickly and as safely as we are able to until everyone is back up and running.
Now PGE says more crews are coming to Oregon from out of state to get the power back on.
The other big story we're following this morning, the travel nightmares that continue for many people across the country after Southwest Airlines canceled more than 2,500 flights on Tuesday. We're going to hear from a couple of local families who are struggling to get back home after Christmas, and KGW's Mike Benner, who is stuck with his family in St. Louis. For right now, we're going to celebrate Wednesday here on the Sunrise Show with almost a complete team.
Yes,
we're one Brenda Braxton
yes.
away from being a full unit this morning. Rod Hill is back with the weather.
So by the way, the crazy weather was a span of 6 days. Started with, of course, some freezing rain, mostly sleet, actually. Yesterday, we finally warmed up. The warm-up came with the windstorm, and now we're back to normal. Here's radar this morning. Scattered shower pattern today, and on the one hand, there could be a few heavier showers find you, but on the flip side, I think you'll find plenty of dry weather in between the scattered showers. Right now, we're actually pretty dry inland. We have clouds up top. We have a temperature of 43 degrees. Even out in the gorge, temps are holding at 40 or better. Winds today in the valley would be kind of typical southwest 5 to 15. So here is what I'm calling a back to normal day. 46 degrees at noon. We might open up some sun breaks too. 47 at 5 p.m. There are a couple weak systems between now and the start of your holiday weekend, but there are no additional weather concerns looking forward over the next week. Back to you.
All right, Rod, we're going to follow up that report from you with this story that we talked about right at the top of the hour. Thousands of people around the area still without power this morning because of those strong winds and heavy rainfall we saw yesterday. So here's where things stand right now. Portland General Electric is reporting about 2,500 outages with almost 43,000 customers still affected. Pacific Power is reporting 380 outages with over 8,600 of its customers affected. And Clark Public Utilities is reporting about 2,200 customers in Southwest Washington affected by outages.
So PGE officials say they're bringing in more personnel from neighboring states to help get the power back on after high winds downed power lines and trees. Yesterday, they had over 600 people on the ground working. The strong winds brought trees crashing onto roads, into homes too. A spokesperson for PGE said the company's main priority is safety for both customers and crews out in the field.
Our crews have to go into the areas. They have to get to wherever that damage is and be able to assess it. But if conditions are such that it's not safe for them to get there, that can cause delays in the assessment and the restoration and repair.
And by the way, Portland got the title of having the most power outages nationwide yesterday because at its peak, over 200,000 customers in Oregon and Southwest Washington were without power. And here are a few tips from utility companies on staying safe when there are downed lines. Always assume a power line is live. Of course, avoid touching it even with an object. Don't drive over any fallen power lines. And if a line falls on your car, stay inside the car until the line is dealt with by crews. And another reminder, if you see something happening where you are, you can always send us tips to the number right there on your screen, 503-226-5088. You can also share photos or video from your neighborhood, but please make sure you don't put yourself in harm's way to do it.
Whether you haven't been able to get to where you need to go, or you're one of our heroic employees caught up in a massive effort to stabilize the airline, to know is that we're doing everything we can to return to a normal operation. And please also hear that I'm truly sorry.
That is the CEO of Southwest Airlines in full damage control mode, apologizing for what the U.S. Transportation Secretary is calling a complete travel meltdown. The federal government is investigating the matter, saying it will hold Southwest accountable after the airline canceled more than half its schedule for yet another day. KGW reporter Mike Benner is among the many travelers across the country who are struggling to get back home after the Christmas holiday. Mike talked to two other families in a situation similar to his and filed this report for us from St. Louis.
If you thought Tuesday would bring relief to anxious air travelers, well, think again. According to FlightAware, Southwest Airlines canceled more than 2,500 flights Tuesday. That's 63% of its flight load. Matt Logan and his family were scheduled to be on one of the flights.
You just feel stuck, you know?
Logan, his wife, and 7-month-old flew from Portland to the Bay Area last Wednesday. Logan found out early Tuesday his family's return flight to Portland later in the day was canceled. It's one of more than 45 flights in and out of PDX Tuesday canceled by Southwest.
You know, you got jobs, and with a baby, we've got a routine we're looking to get back home to, so you just kind of feel helpless.
And it appears it'll get worse before it gets better. Southwest preemptively canceled an additional 3,300 flights Wednesday and Thursday, more than 40 of those involving PDX.
I consider myself a frequent traveler, and this is as chaotic as I've seen it.
Lee Havlick, along with her husband and 3 kids, spent the holidays in Havlick's hometown of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. They were slated to fly home to Portland on separate Southwest flights Monday and Wednesday, but both were canceled. After spending hours on the phone with Southwest, they've since rebooked with a different airline.
You know, it's frustrating. We're in a small house, and there's 6 of us living here, and we're ready to be home. And I think my mom has loved her time with us, but she's ready for us to be home as well.
While both Havlick and Logan are pleased to know the U.S. Department of Transportation will be examining what it calls Southwest's unacceptable rate of cancellations and delays and a lack of prompt customer service, they're ready for this travel nightmare to be over.
There's no doubt it's a Southwest isolated issue. You know, if it was weather, you'd see United and Delta and all these other airlines having, 3,000 canceled flights, but it's a standalone issue with Southwest.
Matt Logan tells me he too has rebooked with another airline, and I can empathize what he and Lee Havlick are going through. I am currently stranded in St. Louis due to not 1, not even 2, but 5 canceled flights since last Thursday. Reporting from St. Louis, I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
Keep in mind, he's experiencing those 5 canceled flights with 3 young children.
Yeah,
so,
right.
okay, we just heard from Mike Benner there. Now we're also hearing from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg on how his department will hold Southwest Airlines accountable and how it's going to work to keep problems like this from happening again.
And we're going to have to take a deeper look at what's going on with their scheduling systems, other issues that may have contributed to this, because while we all understand that you can't control the weather, this has clearly crossed the line from what's an uncontrollable weather situation to something that is the airline's direct responsibility.
Okay, let's get you caught up on a few other headlines this morning. Oregon State Police say multiple people were killed when a tree fell on top of a car on Highway 26 near the coast. This happened yesterday afternoon, a few miles west of Elsie. Police have not said how many people died, and while it's likely weather-related, investigators haven't officially confirmed the cause. Vancouver police asking for your help to find a missing 12-year-old girl. You see her on the screen, Delilah Burns. Police say she went missing near East 4th Plain and Grand Boulevard on Christmas Day. She's about 5'5", 110 pounds, with brown hair, green eyes. If you see her, you're asked to call 911. And despite all the crazy weather we've had recently, Whale Watch Week on the Oregon coast is still a go, and it starts today. It happens every year from December 28th to January 1st as an estimated 17,000 gray whales migrate south to Mexico. There are 17 different sites where people can go catch a glimpse from 10 to 1 p.m. every day. There will be trained volunteers at those sites to help visitors spot whales, share info, be available to ask questions. You can also find more information on OregonStateParks.org. And those are some of your morning headlines.
So you guys know where I was the past week, right?
Hawaii.
Not here to brag, even though I did miss that entire...
Oh, it sounds like bragging.
Even though I missed that entire ice event last week, missed the whole thing. But one thing I did see a lot of in Hawaii were whales. I mean, they were all over the place. We were out doing a little snorkeling expedition, the family and I. Whales popping up to the point where it's like, oh, there's a whale again. Like, it just became like almost...
While you were snorkeling?
Well, no. While we were on the boat heading out to the snorkeling spot.
Oh, Oh, okay.
The whales avoided us while we were
being in the
snorkeling.
water when I can see a whale. I don't care how far away it is. It doesn't seem right.
It's always too close.
Too close.
What do you have for us weather-wise? I know you were saying it's a much calmer day today.
Yeah. A couple of rivers real quick. The Nehalem near Vernonia did get up to the 12-foot flood stage. It's receding. It's a foot below flood stage right now. The Wilson in Tillamook got almost 2 feet above flood stage. That is back down to the 12-foot flood stage, and that is receding. And you know,
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
How do you read that your own writing? It's very hard to read that writing.
You know what's funny? My writing's horrible, by the way. My brother and myself, we have my mom's handwriting. Love my mom. Her handwriting's horrible. And we write just like her.
Wow.
Thank you, Mrs. Hill.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Hill. Thanks, Mom. All right, peak wind gust yesterday out at the airport was in that, it was around a 2 o'clock wind blast. They hit the North Valley. 48-mile-per-hour wind. We had 2-day rain totals. They hit 3.28. That was Monday, Tuesday. Wow. And, you know, despite we had some rivers and smaller streams get up or just above flood stage, most of the high water issues were simply ponding of water over roadways and that type of thing. Near Yachats was the highest wind gust I saw at the coast down Lincoln County, 86 miles per hour. Salem popped to 55. That was in the morning. McMinnville popped to 52-mile-per-hour wind gust. That was in the morning as well. All that's behind us. Today, winds here in the valley will be kind of typical southwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered showers feeding in, and this will be a typical scattered shower day. Futurecast does like, where you see the bright colors, some spotty heavier showers or downpours. Snow levels today up in the mountains at 3,000 feet. This is 8:30 this morning. Here's some more showers at noon. Here's some more showers at 6 p.m. We have 2 weak weather systems that we're tracking. One comes in early tomorrow morning. This is Thursday at 7 a.m. So we start off with a little wave of some steady rain coming in. But that passes when we get into scattered showers. And the other one comes in early Friday morning. Again, both weak weather systems, not much wind. I mean, maybe some 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts at the coast overnight tonight. That's about it. All right, here are the current numbers. The Dow's 45. Hood River is also holding at 40 this morning, by the way, as the gorge cold air has been scoured out and the winds are from the west. There'll be 15 to 30 in the gorge at times today. Let's talk about the forecast in the gorge. Here you go. You're in the 40s today. You stay above freezing tonight. It will be rain showers in the forecast overnight into tomorrow morning. West winds 12 to 30, noticeably breezy. The resorts up on the mountain picked up 6 to 13 yesterday PM hours into last night. 2 to 5 inches today, down to about 3,000 feet. By the way, the upper lifts and meadows reporting still 88-mile-per-hour wind gusts at 3 a.m. So check the resort websites before heading up to see how much is going to be open or not. Couple weak systems tomorrow and Friday, and then we have a mainly dry Saturday, and we're still projecting a dry New Year's Day Sunday. We're happy you're with us on a normal Wednesday. We'll be back in a moment.